the situation that's been happening with this whole Rainer Wanderer storyline, because I'm not feeling it, and it's really, really starting to hurt me and my relationship with you, Lost Girl. Because for this entire season, I have been going with you for the most part, okay? In the beginning where people were like, this is what, I'm like, you know what, you're switching stuff up, Lost Girls is the best premiere you've had since the season 1 opening. It's Fei Fei World. I'm rolling with you guys. I think it's interesting that you tried to change up stuff, makes that we didn't have Bo automatically in the beginning. So I was like, okay, this could be interesting. And yet as soon as Bo returned and we started going really into this Wanderer storyline, I feel like, you know, something's been off about it. And I don't mind that it's serialized. I don't. I think that it's actually a really good idea. I think that for as long as it's been on, it needed to finally have a long running plot. But I feel like, just like with season 3 with The Dawning, we have been hyped up for so long about what happened to Bo on that train and trying to figure out who the Wanderer is and where everything's connected. And there's so much, you know, Odin mythology being put in there that a lot of people are think, oh, the Wanderer's gonna be Odin and all this kind of stuff. But then to have us finally see who the Wanderer is, which was already a disappointment because he looked like fucking the guy from Nickelback, and that's not scary, maybe to some, but not personally for me. And then, you know, I feel like when people saw him, they were like, well, like, that's her destiny. Maybe she still got a little bit of stuff put on her. Maybe she's just a little, like, you know, messed up. Then we go to the next episode and we find out, no, not at all. Actually, when we all thought that Bo had been kidnapped and was suffering with the Wanderer, she's actually getting that D. She could have escaped many, many times, but chose not to. She actually didn't go back to her friends, to her family the entire time. This, and I don't mean this like, this isn't even about her not going back to Lauren, because yeah, I shipped Oculus, but whatever. She didn't go back to Kenzie, her best friend, the person who supposed to mean the most to her. She didn't go back for her. She didn't go back for Kenzie. She didn't even go back to her grandfather with Trey. She didn't go back for anyone. She just stayed there with Rainer, getting her little swerve on. That's what she did the entire time, and people were worried about her when they found out. Like, they're trying to figure out how to get back on the train and get back there. No. And all the clues she'd been sending herself, all those things, all of that was done so that she could get back to Rainer and free him because she felt sympathy for his little Beauty and the Beast backstory bullshit. Because that's what it was. Let's be real, that was all Beauty and the Beast stuff. Like, when she was getting dressed to go to the party and she said how about she kidnapped me, I go eat dinner with her, I was like, this is Beauty and the Beast. I know this is my favorite movie. You can't mess with me, Lost Girl. You can't deceive me. You can't trick me. You can't hoodwink, bamboozle me. Of course, I'm watching the show, so I guess I'm already hoodwinked and bamboozled. But it was just like, this is what happens when you hype up something so much. This is not what, it's not that it's not what people were expecting, because I think that, you know, the problem is that it's not as intense as people thought. People thought she was suffering. She was just with a dude the whole time. That's it. Really? And, you know, yes, we have 3 episodes left, and they could definitely turn around. I think the ending of the episode, while it was annoying that Rainer was Bo's key to helping defeat the Unamens, because it allowed her to do her intense Xena kick, because when she totally kicked that Unamens person, her face was totally challenged Lucy Lawless, because she had the same kind of crinkle in her face. I'm like, I see you, Bo. I see you, Ada Silk. You're adorable. You're definitely doing that right. But I just feel like this season has not been living up to what it said it was going to be. And yes, it's fun when a ship that you like gets a cameo or you get some attention, and like the B plot, I think technically it'd be the A plot since it's what we got the most focus on. Stuff with Kenzie and Dyson and Lauren has been good. It's the most fun Dyson has been the entire season, because if he's not interacting with somebody else and just mooning over Bo, he becomes kind of an ass, and I don't care for him. But, you know, despite all of that, we've had to deal with this storyline really leading to nowhere. I mean, she's been mean to her friends this whole time and suffering from PTSD from an incident on the train, and the incident on the train was nothing. So if Rainer is deceiving her, which is what I'm hoping to some degree, she'll have been bamboozled by this guy. And if he hadn't done anything, then she's an idiot because she went and did all this stuff with no real understanding of what was going on. And can I just say as a slight deviation, I don't really like how, it's not just Lost Girl, but how like so many of these shows, they're like, oh yeah, we're the protagonists and we don't have to pay attention to rules or what's going on or try to think before we do stuff. No, we're just gonna act for first. We're gonna act first, and if something happens, well, pooh, that sucks. Like, you don't think that killing the Unamens would be something serious. You don't look into what the Unamens really are. I mean, she doesn't know what they are. And I know Trick has been keeping stuff from her, and Trick is a trick hole. But still, at the same time, she doesn't look before she leaps. And then she's like, you know, I bark until I get answers. I'm just like, yeah, or someone would just punch you in the mouth till you shut up. And, you know, the thing about it is that I like Bo. Bo's a very flawed protagonist for a lot of reasons. But I've always liked Bo because I feel like Anna Silk brings a real charm to that character. But I feel like this season has brought up so many things about Bo that just kind of bothered me at once. And I feel like they're self-referential because, like, in the episode with the Jumbi, which was... that episode was issues. But with this with the Jumbi, you know, she's like, I don't know why I stick to this. I always stick my nose in this stuff that's not my business. I'm like, is that really the best quality though, Bo? Like, that be getting somebody's back. It's just... it's frustrating because the show has so much potential to do more with what it has, and it constantly doesn't. And I just feel like it could be doing so much more and it's not. I'm happy that Lauren and Dyson are doing their thing and they're getting along and they're friendly. That's very nice and encouraging. I really enjoy the chemistry between those two actors, even though I don't ship it. And I enjoy Kenzie, but at the same time I feel like Kenzie's always worried about Bo, concerned about Bo, but Bo wasn't thinking about nobody. I mean, there's one scene she's like, oh, are my friends still alright? Like, girl, you can go back, you know, but you choose not to. So that bothered me. It bothered me even last episode where Bo says goodbye to Lauren and Dyson, but not Kenzie. And then Kenzie spends the entire episode with Tamsin trying to figure out how to help Bo. And I'm like, Bo ain't thinking about you, Kenz. She really not. And you've been having Bo's back since the first episode. There are many episodes that she would have died if you hadn't come and do something for her. So not like, oh, it's time for me to do something for Bo. You always do stuff for Bo. So where is this dialogue coming in where she's like, oh, and then where the hell is Hale? And we understand he's coming up next episode. But still, like, Kenzie and Hale are a couple, and I had hoped, besides just liking the couple, that they would actually give Hale some screen time since he was dating, you know, a lead, and he technically is a lead. And every time they're like, I'm gonna kill someone you love, and I love how they'll list off everyone and leave out Hale, but then they like bring him back and I'm like, no, don't put Hale into this. Y'all don't care about Hale. He's never around. Like, he's never around to have any kind of clout. They have a meeting, everyone in the main group's there except for Trick, who's in the outs, but Hale's supposed to be there, but he's not there. He's off doing God knows what. Maybe he's the only one actually being a police officer these days and actually doing his job, because Dyson doesn't seem to actually be doing anything having to do with being a cop these days. But I don't know. The show has barely been airing in Canada now, and even though I live in America, I wasn't waiting for that shit to air on Sci-Fi, so I've been watching it on Showtime. So, I know people are going to be starting watching it in America soon, so that'll be exciting to see everyone else come together and see what they think. And I'm sure some people might look at this later, but, like, if you're watching Lost Girl, like, are you happy with this season? Like, I'm just not happy with it. I feel like I will give it to the end to see, like, if it ties itself together, because sometimes shows do that. If you watch it week by week and you're keep hyping yourself up and wanting certain things, you know, it's disappointing all the time, but if you watch it in one swoop, it's like, oh, it all makes more sense now. I feel that way about American Horror Story Asylum. If you watch Asylum straight through in one sitting, it's so much better than if you watch it separately. But, I just hope that Lost Girl can realize that it doesn't just have to be camp and fan service to be good. Like, it has a lot of really interesting concepts and a lot of interesting mythology, but it really just puts it in, takes it away, next thing. And it's like, yeah, Monster of the Week are fun and having interesting mythology is fun. I mean, the mermaid stuff was cute because Kenzie was all, you know, quoting Little Mermaid and crap. But at the same time, it's like, the show has been on for 4 seasons. You don't have to just do that now. You know, to me, this is just ranking up to be like the 4th season of Buffy. I mean, you got everything. You got the bland love interest, Raina Riley. There you go. You know, with these Unamens acting like Adam and being dull like them too. Let's hope that we can at least end the season on a high note. Rooting for Evil Trick. Evil Trick to save season 4, because right now that's really what I'm rooting for. Evil Trick.